Hello, Marie.
All right. How you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Good. I'm good.
Been a day, right?
Yeah, yeah. Been
Okay.
quite today.
Yeah. So, okay. I think let's start to just continue. So, Romario, you're welcome to my platform. It's an honor to have you. And I think I haven't seen you for how many years now? For a long time.
It's
But
quite a long time. Yeah.
yeah. But I'm really happy to have you. And while I was just looking through your profile, I was like, okay, he talks about financial mindset. And that's something I'm curious about, and also my community and also my friends, my environment are curious about. And I was saying, okay, should I just try and reach out to Romaric? And he said yes. So thank you so much for accepting to be on this platform. It's an honor to have you here. So today I just want to talk about firstly about your story. Why did you choose that career? What were the challenges that made you say no, I won't give up? And what are the advice you can give to youths? So just tell me who you are, your story first, please.
Actually, um, I'll just jump into what you mentioned about the reason why I choose this career path. Okay.
Yeah.
Firstly, there was that need because me traveling abroad as a student. And when we have African gatherings, okay,
Yeah.
because normally when you travel, you always have this African gathering where you guys share meals, drinks, and a lot of laughter, fun. So we will share all these things, but we won't talk about the thing that actually made us leave the comfort of our home, okay, to maybe to Europe or maybe USA. Because one thing I notice is that most of us Africans, when we travel abroad and we get integrated, also we find good jobs. Once we have that job, we think there's nothing more out there, meaning that we just seek job security and we limit our thinking, okay, meaning that we as Africans, first of all, we need to ask ourselves, why do we leave our home to the white man's place? It's for most more. If you ask anyone will say financial stability, maybe good health facilities, but the primary reason is for to have that financial stability and also be capable of helping your family. But then you cannot depend only on your job. That is not sustainable. But most of us Africans, when we travel, when we find ourselves good jobs, we think that is the platform, that is the ultimate. So there was that need when you ask everyone, what do you really aspire for? Everyone will say, oh, I want to finish my studies and get a good job, and maybe I will save my money and get an apartment. But that is where it ends. Or probably some people will say, oh, maybe I'll have to invest in Africa, maybe I'll save some money. So they only think about I will save some money, I will save some money through my job. So now they don't think about how to get passive income. How am I going to make use of the financial system of the area which I am? Okay, to benefit my own self and my family. So they don't think beyond that aspect of getting a secure job, and also um, seeking for passive income or making your money work for you, because that is the ultimate goal. That should be, in my opinion.
That you make a
Yeah.
lot of sense. Make a lot of sense because sometimes when like they always say that when you are not there, you have a lot of aspirations and dreams, but when you are there, you're so comfortable. You don't think about what's your next step. I can really relate with you because it's something that we as Africans or we as youths or we as individuals, we really think of the long term, we think of our immediate situations. And when we find ourselves later on in future, we are confused on what to do. We start regretting why don't we just arrange the things? Why don't we make our things better? So having this kind of mindset and you trying to create more awareness in your environment with your admiration as what you want to do, it's something that if you emphasize more, youth who are coming from Africa who are willing to change the narrative with your mindset, with your own vision, they were able to improve their lifestyle and their living standards. And another thing I want to ask you is about why did you choose? I think there are a lot of challenges you really
Yeah,
face.
of
Can you
course.
can you identify what was one significant challenge that you faced that you said, no, I'm not giving up in this career, I'm going for it?
Actually, the number one challenge is how people will see you. Okay. Because if you want to talk to someone who has spent 10 years abroad, okay, the person first of all asks you, okay, how long have you been abroad? When you say less than 5 years or less than half a decade, the person will say, but what can you tell me that I don't know? Then if you ask the person only some few questions regarding how the financial system of that area operates, he doesn't know. But because of the longevity of where he came before you, okay, they think, or most of us Africans, we think that what you know depend on how long you have been out here. But then what can your experience show for how long you have been out here? Meaning that they don't have that mentality. I find people who don't have that mentality to accept that probably you know things better than they do. Okay, that is one difficulty that I face to penetrate, but I don't see it as a difficulty. I don't see it as a challenge because I see it as an opportunity to prove to this person that I actually know things that you don't know. And one thing is, I will meet people who know things that probably I know or who know more than me. But what are they doing about it? When you go for your drinking and your parties, do you share this knowledge with the others or do you just keep this knowledge to yourself? So that was one of the first challenge I faced. And also in a country where you have a total different language, okay? It plays a role in your mentality, on your mental state, because it will take you a while to get adapted to the language, for example, but then it shouldn't be a limiting factor, meaning that there are other means that you can use to pass out your message to people, meaning that every challenge for me was an opportunity. And I get most of the time people will tell me, you don't know what you are talking about because you have not been here for long. But the problem is, I know what I'm talking about because I know what I went through in Cameroon to be here. I know where I'm heading to. I know exactly what where my research about when I came to this country to, or maybe abroad to Germany. So I wouldn't say the difficulties I faced were challenges. I hate that word challenge. Is because I see it as an opportunity to learn, because you meet with different people and some will make you feel like you don't know what you're talking about. But at the end of the day, it's an opportunity to show them that you exactly know what you are talking about and you get them turned around. So that is why in every conversation that I have with people that have that mentality, I just ask them 5 minutes of their time. That's all I ask. And once I get the 5 minutes of their time, I make sure that they will beg me for more minutes because I will share information that they didn't even think about.
Oh, that's impressive. So what I would gather is about, I think it's the culture. Maybe it's the culture. I think part of the culture is about thinking if I'm older, I have all my answers are correct. And if you're younger, your response are not correct. I think this attitude or these characteristics is mostly common with the African context.
Yeah.
When you see two generations come together, there's a tendency for one generation to overcome the other, realizing that when it comes to ideas, when it comes to development, there's no big and there's no small. It's all about sharing your thoughts, sharing your ideas for development, for sustainability. So, in summary, what you say, what does it mean by the financial mindset?
To be honest, when you say financial mindset, okay,
Yeah.
when my own perspective about that is that desire to want more.
Okay.
The human mentality or the human concept definitely has this insatiety in them. Like, for example, if your financial objective was to attain $1 million, for example, in your bank account, before you attain that 1 million, you are already, your objective have already climbed to about 3 million. So it's automatic for humans to have dreams, aspirations, or to want to be stable financially. Everyone has that dream. Okay. Everyone think about being successful. So, but the difference that will set someone apart from just wanting the dream is to do something about it. So if you might, everyone has that financial mindset like that. I want to do something of my own someday. I want to improve the financial situation of my country, of my maybe of my family, sorry, of myself, of the people around me. But the question is, what do you do about it? What is the
Yeah.
necessary steps you have taken, okay, to achieve that? So the entire point is doing. Get off from that chair and do something about it. Meaning that we can talk every day about you have to change your mentality about money, you have to change the way you think. But at the end of the day, what do you do about it? Because the truth is the world is a global village today that either way you will listen to motivational speakers, you will listen to people telling you how money actually works, okay? How you have to compose yourself, you have to think like an investor, as you said, think like a builder. But at the end of the day, how many people among those who have listened to all these motivations, to all these words, inspirational words, how many of them have done something about it? So the difference between someone who has a financial mindset and someone who thinks they have a financial mindset is the action behind it. That's what I would say, is the action behind it in a simple term.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So let's just move to the youth's mindset, okay? On the scale of 1 to 10, what would you say youth have understood about finances, the financial mindset, the investment, the savings? What do you think from your own approach, from your own observation, from a scale of 1 to 10? What how we categorize youths?
I have meetings, my entire life nowadays is meetings, counseling people, directing people on how to manage their finances. And I do a step by step, meaning that before I even give you an advice, I would need to understand you, understand your concept, understand your financial goals. I will need to understand your income, expenses, and everything about you before I can give a recommendation. So, in my opinion, most of the youths I meet in uh, in this circle, okay, of people that I meet, most of them have this dream that, okay, I want to be successful. I want to be able to live a comfortable life. But then if you look at how they are structuring their finances, when you do a financial analysis with someone and the person is even, he looks back and he's surprised about how his expenses are being managed by him or her, he's amazed. So there's lack of self-consciousness of how you spend your money, on where your money goes to. So I just believe that most of us, because I am part of it, okay, I'm just, the difference is that I have learned to be conscious about how I manage my finance, meaning that most of us youths don't really consciously manage our finances. And when we talk about investing, the investment mindset, most of us think that you have to watch one or two videos and probably you jump into the market. Okay. But at the end of the day, the work behind, they youths of nowadays don't really want to put in the work. So if you see someone's financial success on social media, they see you, the person shows you that, but the person does not show you what he has gone through. For example, we are looking at Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos. There are companies, for example, who made, like Amazon, who made losses of 10 years, a decade straight before they started making profit. And he was resilient. It didn't matter whether he makes a loss or a profit at that moment, but he believes in his dream. So meaning that you have to play the patient game. You don't make money overnight. Meaning that youth of nowadays, I think we are so distracted about what people show us on social media about their successes, and people will give you a glimpse of what they have done to get to where they are, but actually will not tell you the actual truth, what they have really gone through. So there is an underground work that has to be done. The youths don't really want to go through that stress. Excuse me.
Hope you're all right. You good?
Yeah, it's a change of weather. It's a period.
All right.
All this.
No problem. Thank you so much. I want to ask you about the entrepreneur mindset as well as an employee mindset. You've already explained that already. What I want to know is, do you think emotions play a role in your finances?
uh, of course, emotions play a role in your
And
finances.
how can you advise people to detach their emotions from their finances? Like how will you, if you can say me, how what will you advise me to learn how to leave my emotions away and know how to build my my empire or my business?
Okay. Do you know what is happening probably in the market right now?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
So if you look at the market right now, the market is crashing right now is because of the threats Trump is imposing on Mexico, Canada, China, and even Europe. Excuse me, and even Europe. What is causing this crash is panic, meaning that investors are panicking. Okay, that uh, the stocks that are related to the US, there's a fear that US will go into a recession, and all these things. You have both emotions and you have calculated moves. So when we talk about emotion, you cannot really simply detach emotion from finance. Is because it's a very difficult thing to do. Okay, but you can learn to manage it.
Okay.
I'll take an example when I was young, or I'm not yet old, but a little bit younger. I bought a new phone, a very new phone. Then the same day that I held that phone in my on my hand, I was supposed to deliver a good for my cousin. That phone fell down. It was S7. I was supposed to use that phone. I had already budgeted my life that I'll use that phone for maybe about 5 years. The phone fell down. I asked myself one question that it has helped me in my entire entrepreneurial world lifespan. That question was, what's my next move after this? Am I going to cry? Am I going to stay the entire day thinking about the loss I just experienced, or I'm going to try to navigate that energy of that loss towards looking for a solution? So I had a choice. There was two. So either sit down, cry, and lament the entire day, or start thinking about how can I get another phone. That was the choice. And the two are emotionally attached,
True.
meaning that if I choose lamenting, definitely emotions are involved. But if I choose looking for a solution, me being motivated by the loss of that phone means emotions are involved. I'm motivated because I just lost a phone and I want to get it back. I'm looking for a solution to get it back as soon as possible. That motivation, you can't ignore the emotional part of it. But then I have guided my emotions. So, meaning that you cannot separate the two, but you can guide the energy towards something that can be fruitful, valuable for you. Meaning that as an entrepreneur or a business person, or no matter the life, or even if you're a worker, you will have setbacks. But where will your energy be guided on? Is it the losses, or is it trying to navigate, or to take in your losses, accepting your losses, and looking for winning capabilities, or looking for other routes that can bring wins for you? So in a simple term is you choose where to guide your emotion to.
Yeah. You know, what you said, it's really true for us to bring out our detach our emotions from our finances or our decisions in life. I want to give you like a personal experience. Talk about creating this platform, like the mindset shift. So I was asking myself, I have time, I have the internet, I have some few time that I can use to develop myself. But what can I do? Should I just say no? I should keep my ideas to my mind, or rather I should share my ideas to the community, despite if they approve or not. But I'm creating a community that where I can share my ideas and my thoughts. And over the years, I have learned a lot throughout that process. I have pictured myself. I've said, okay, I'm not growing mentally, physically, emotionally. Because before, I would put all my emotions to what I do than actually working towards what I intend to do because of the future. Because you bring an example whereby you are asking yourself, should you lament over your fall, or rather you should find a cure, find like a niche where you can pursue this energy to something greater. So if us as human beings, or is us as individuals who are so passionate about our finances, and if during our entrepreneurial journey we face difficulties, we face backlash, or in terms of we lost a lot of money, or in terms of our relationship with people, to our environment, let's not focus towards on the losses, but rather on the gain. Let's look towards the future where we can see the bigger picture, to believe in ourselves that this is just a setback. You mentioned about challenges. They don't like the word challenge because it discourages you from moving ahead, but more like an opportunity.
Yeah.
So that means through an entrepreneur journey, look at it towards like an opportunity, towards a growth. But if you have challenges and faced dwelt on your challenges, you no learn nothing. You keep lamenting, and time passes by. And what the word teaches us? It will never wait for us.
Exactly.
Time just passes by. It will never wait. You think Monday will always be Monday, but that's not possible. You think 2 p.m. will always be 2 p.m., but that's not possible. 2 p.m. tomorrow can be Tuesday. And what have you done today? So as entrepreneurs, let's channel ourselves with our challenges, or look at them as opportunities for us to gear towards greater achievement in our goals. So our next thing I'll ask you is, what are the biggest mental blocks that people face while trying to grow financially?
The biggest mental block is to start.
Yeah, yeah,
And procrastination. Okay.
yeah,
It's like, what if you're a business, you're a startup, or you are through the phase of a self-survivor mode. Okay. The most, if you ask every entrepreneur, the most difficult phase, the most difficult, it feels like a block in, is starting. Because most people want that they have that mentality of being perfect. They want everything to be perfect. So you want to have a perfect business plan. You want to have the perfect startup. You want to have startup capital. You want to have the perfect mindset to begin with. You want to have the perfect customer base. Everything, you want it to be perfect before you start. But that is a dream world, because let's say you are planning today, you have a business idea, okay, to solve a particular problem. Then let's say you choose to use your planning phase for about 3 months. The world is moving so fast that in 3 months is far more than enough for that your idea to be outdated. And also, people, like they always say, you have a bunch of about 100 entrepreneurs who start, okay, but only about 10 or 5 of them actually make it. But then you will never even reach that stage, give yourself that opportunity of failure, if you don't start. Just to be honest, just start. So even the world business, when we say perfect business plan, like people always say, because there is no business plan that you will see that will not show you on paper that they will make money. When they put all the Excel sheets and everything, all their SWOT analysis, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, at the end of the day, they will tell you, I will make money out of it. But the field is a total different world from that paper. And you will never get to understand the field if you don't start. Meaning, there is one thing, you start, you adapt, and you optimize. So that blockade rate that you mentioned, okay, that blockage is, most people, if you go to the graveyard, you will see a lot. If you have maybe, if God can open your eyes to see a lot of dreams that have died, it's because no, they don't have that courage to start. Start, take the leap of faith and start something. Fail. No matter the number of times that you fail, it will teach you something. Okay. So the thing I can tell you about what is really preventing some of us from growing is not getting that courage and doubting ourselves. Because if you think that you will be perfect, if you want to be a public speaker, you want to have the perfect pitch, you want to have just avoid stammering, you want that perfect timing of everything. How will you learn? How will you get to know your own self, your weaknesses, if you don't do it actually? So meaning the things that people always that stops people from doing or achieving their dreams is not being able to start and figure things as they go.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. On my page, I always talk about don't be a slave to the mind, because with the mind, everything is perfect, everything is okay. But when you start doing it, you realize that there are some limitations. Another thing most of us do is we feel that anything we say is correct. We don't listen to corrections. We always believe that we are always correct, and that's not good. Especially those with who are our common adult who have achieved a lot. They believe that what they are doing, what they are saying is always correct. It's always correct. I think that's one of the limitations that really block people or restrain people from achieving what they want to do. I don't want to take much of your time, but I have two more questions to ask you before you leave. So, if you had to give, you have to give three quick tips to someone who wants to transform their financial future. What would they be? Like, what are the advice you can give someone who wants to be like you, to have a financial mindset like you? What are the tips you can share with them, please?
Nobody can be like when we always say you should be your number one fan. Okay,
Yeah,
meaning that you need to have that self-love. Being your number one fan means that when you wake up in the morning, okay, the person you were yesterday, you should think about what can I improve. So if you are looking at, maybe if you have a mentor, for example, that is like has a perfect lifestyle that you want to be, but then you are not thinking about what are the challenges or what are the roadblocks that he faced are quite different from yours. So meaning that you must have that inner love for yourself first as a person, meaning being your number one fan. And the second thing is, which is the what we previously discussed, is the starting phase. Meaning deal away with the concept of perfection and just take a leap of faith and start something. Because the reality is, even Jesus said it himself, he's never recognized, a prophet is never recognized in his hometown. And the people, your immediate surrounding, will always maybe try to bring you down, make you feel less of yourself. Meaning they won't actually see what you believe you are capable of doing. So meaning you need to filter the noises around you, being able to filter it and focus on your number one objectives, which is to succeed. So I believe that's three, right?
yeah, that's Terry. And okay, let me put myself out there. What are the tips you use to avoid procrastination, not to procrastinate on your finances or your investment? What are the tips you can share with us?
What I used to not to
To avoid
procrastinate.
procrastination, because you said the first thing we should have is to start. People say I'll start today, but today's begins and then they change their mind. No, I'll start tomorrow. But what will you do? What will you say to someone? What are the tips for them to avoid that procrastination? Because it's easy for someone to tell you that don't do this now. But for you to actually do it is difficult. So what will you share? How will you tell someone? How will you tell your younger one, your sisters, your
Okay.
brothers who are going to start something to avoid that procrastination? And when they start it, how can they be able to work towards that? Discipline is important, but it needs accountability. So, what will you say in that area, please?
I'll start that with maybe a story. Okay.
Okay.
When I was still a student, I was really comfortable because my sister. I took my sister's apartment or her room. I had a set of TV, good couch, and very good bed. Then when I left the university, I had to live in Douala. I had to get a smaller room. But before I left, I thought I made a mistake. I thought maybe life is going to be easier. So I gave out those those stuffs.
Okay.
So now when I faced life, my my room was very small. My bed compared to when I was a student was way worse, and which I didn't even have the space for a couch. But at the end of the day, it didn't bother me because that small space will cost me less compared to when I was a student. Meaning that a small space, even the gadgets that I had will save me some electricity, and it will make me focus on where I want to be. So my entire focus was to be successful. So not to if as a youth, if you want to put your lifestyle first, okay? If you want to put your lifestyle first, you will fit the lifestyle to please others rather than doing exactly what you are supposed to do to manage yourself effectively or efficiently in order to achieve your goals. So let's say you decide to invest in clothes, in looking good, okay, for the start, because there are stages. There is a stage in your life where you invest in looking good. There is a stage in your life where you invest for the moment where you have to start looking good. And there is a stage in your life where you don't have to invest in looking good because you have already built that image where people respect you even if you don't look good. So, meaning that you need to figure out at what stage you are and what you really need to be successful. Okay, you need to think about that self-consciously about where you want to be and what you are really doing to achieve that goal. So when we talk about procrastination, you have your ideas which are not in your mind, okay, to detect that. But what is stopping you from getting off that comfort zone and do something about it? You exactly know the reason. So meaning that you need to start thinking of what is really preventing me from leaving the stage where I am to where I want to be. Most people will say money, but then, okay, money, we put money as a challenge. So, but you need to figure out if I don't have money, what else? Okay, with the little I have, what am I doing with it? How little can I start something? Because you may have a very big vision, but then to nurture that vision, you need to start small. It's just like you, before you want to apply for a grant, maybe you have a very good idea or a community idea, but they will ask you, what have you done? Okay, because there are most of the grants will ask you, the grant providers will ask you, what have you done? What are the proofs that you can actually manage this finance? So meaning that if you had not started something, no matter how small, to give that track record of yourself, you will never reach to where you want to be. So some of us didn't have the push that we needed, and some others have the push that they needed. But at the end of the day, Not everyone will make it. But the difference is who among those who had this vision, who had these dreams, took action to make it successful. So there is no perfect plan about dealing with procrastination. It's just to consciously question yourself. Are you taking the right moves? If not, what are the right moves I am supposed to take? And why am I not taking them? What is limiting me from taking them? I should start somewhere. It must not be a perfect move, but I should start. This will always be my end point. You have to start. So the three things: you start, you adapt, and you optimize.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much. And do you have any books to recommend to people who are interested to develop their mindset in terms of finances?
I think the richest man in Babylon is a very good one
Okay.
that people should check it out. Then how to get rich before 30, and probably the psychology of money, and most
Okay.
likely by Karen Behrman, financial intelligence.
Mm,
And the last, which most people are aware, Rich Dad Poor Dad, is very instrumental, yeah,
mm.
for especially the beginners. Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much, Romaric. But before we end, I'll give you a summary. So writing down what you were saying. So I'm gonna say it out in short forms. Okay. You spoke about your major challenge was about your culture and language, your generational conversations with those who have been in Europe or who have been in your community for a long time. We think that the emotional intelligence is more better, way better than yours. And you spoke about taking major steps. That if you're a youth and you're really struggling to do something and you're trying to procrastinate, the first thing you do is take the first step. And when you take the first step, what do? You start, you adopt, and you optimize. And don't forget to have faith in what you are doing. When it comes to emotion, make sure that you turn your emotion towards a major good, not something bad. Don't waste your time thinking about what didn't go wrong, what I did right or wrong, but rather try to say, if this happened, that means there's something I have to do better to improve on myself. And you spoke about perfection. Let's avoid perfection in what we are doing. That perfection will not help you in what you are doing. Make sure you channel them towards working towards that, working to develop your mind, working towards your financial benefit, financial wealth. And also, let's think about being an entrepreneur. That an entrepreneur goes through a lot of challenges, a lot of losses in the challenges. So we should not dwell so much on the successes, but rather look into the failure as a path towards our success. And also, you spoke about what can we improve on? First of all, you said your inner love. You have to love yourself. You have to love who you are, what you have. Another thing is talk about your starting fees. Know that everybody started somewhere. You started from somewhere. Um, all the entrepreneurs in the world, Jeff Bezos, we again Elon Musk. Most of them started somewhere. So when you're starting something, don't feel discouraged. Another thing you mentioned about to filter the noises. Our environment influence our decisions in life, so we have to be very careful. The people around, maybe those who love you, don't really understand what you're doing, but when you start and you start doing what you're doing, people start accepting you. So when that happens, don't be discouraged, rather push forward. And also to be successful, you need to have a lot of time. You need to spend a lot of time with yourself. You have to know more about what you are doing, not just say about it, and avoid peer pressure from social media. The people just give you just a little face of what they are doing. They don't really tell you the story about it. So when it comes to your story, you see a bigger picture. But when it comes to somebody else, they give you a smaller picture. So never be discouraged in what you do. And if among 100 entrepreneurs, I know the next 10 entrepreneurs should be among them, because you do not give up. So always push yourself to be better. Always push yourself to be a good entrepreneur, and make sure you read books, like the richest man in Babylon, How to Get Rich, The Secretary of Money, and Financial Intelligence, vale, and Rich and Poor Dad. So all these things, remember that you have phases in your life, you have seasons in your life. So make sure the seasons in your life should reflect on your financial decisions. So if you're seeing your life whereby you have to work, make sure you invest in your emotional intelligence, invest in your knowledge. If you think it's in your life for you to invest in your physical appearance, and therefore invest in that, but make sure you don't compare your investment or you compare your season with somebody else when you don't know their story. So I hope I've given a
No,
summary of what you.
definitely, definitely. That was a good one. That was a
Yeah.
good one. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Romare. Thank you so much. So do you have any major event you are planning so far that you want to say to somebody to follow you, or what are your various platforms so that individuals can follow you and know more about your journey and how you can assist them about your consultancy business or how you support your group? So anywhere can we meet up with you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm on all the social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram by All Finance Germany. Okay. And I do videos about financial literacy and also how to understand the German financial system. And I'll be organizing a seminar very soon, in 2 months from now in Berlin. Okay. I will share more details on that. Okay. And tomorrow also will be an event in Hamburg in a new office where we will be sharing some highlights on what I and my partners are trying to portray out there to the population, and they should look forward to it. Yeah.
Okay, so what you do, you just share with me with your upcoming events so I can share my platform for India who are interested. I don't know if you have a possibility of live, those who want to join live. If you have it in your webinar, please let us know so I can share people who want to join virtually to learn about what you do.
No,
So
definitely I will do
it
that.
was a pleasure having you on my platform. I wish you all the best and hopefully I can invite you again for another topic.
Yeah, thank you. It was a pleasure.
Okay. You're
Okay. Yeah,
welcome.
you take care. Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.